Hey everybody, welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Feel Good Friday, the 8th of March, I think it is. If you're an astute person and paying close attention, you'll notice I'm wearing the same sweatshirt as I was yesterday for yesterday's video. I pre-recorded today's video on Thursday afternoon because Thursday I thought my furniture was going to come and I'd be at the house, hefting boxes and digging through stuff to get my bed and my towels ready and everything. But guess what? The weather happened again, and my truck was stuck at the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border and wasn't able to come. So he's going to be there here apparently at 8 a.m. this morning, which my new condo neighbors are going to kill me because that's when the garbage gets picked up. This is just, we need God's grace and miracles to happen, that we get no more snow, that the garbage comes really, picker-uppers come really, really early, and that everybody's cool about where we're going to what's happening, because I have been just a pain in their patootie all week. For those of you also who have been wondering about post-it notes, there they are. When I'm facing, usually my computer's on the little computer puller outer thing that holds the computer, and so they're up in front of me. And now the person who I work with had a great idea, and somebody did on as well online, is to open the doors and put them on the inside of the doors, because right now it doesn't look very professional. But there's nobody coming into my office for a meeting until next Wednesday, other than Cheryl, who's the most amazing person I've met in a really long time. She's keeping my head on straight and keeping me from losing my mind. So she's awesome. Today I'd like to talk about International Women's Day, and thinking about something. It just seems kind of odd, and I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard this correctly. When I was eating my breakfast at the hotel yesterday morning, Thursday morning, CBC Newsnet was on, and it had a picture of Shania Twain being interviewed. And for those of you who don't know, Shania Twain is a Canadian country singer who is, I like her. A lot of people, don't, but I think she's pretty fantastic. She's been through a lot in her life, and she's just, she's a beautiful woman who has allowed herself to be comfortable with her changing body and even her voice. She got Lyme disease when she was out riding her horse many years ago in the eastern one of the eastern states, and she got a tick bit her, and she didn't know until she got very, very sick, and she was unable to sing. She lost her voice, literally lost her voice for a really long time. And now that she's singing again, her voice has changed significantly, which is almost like she's has a second career. She can still sing her old songs, but her pitch isn't as high, and it's a bit more throaty, a bit more uh, dusty, if you know what I mean by that, dusky. And I think she sounds absolutely incredible. But they were showing her as honoring her for International Women's Day. And one of the things they're talking about, and maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I heard right, was that they created a Barbie doll for her. And, if you'd asked me that, if you'd said that to me a year ago, or I saw that 2 years ago, I would have thought, oh, great, yes, another, blonde bimbo, and like, oh, that's not a compliment, that's an insult, until I watched the Barbie movie. And the Barbie movie is not a movie I would ever see twice, but is absolutely powerful. It's incredibly powerful. And it's not just the acting. Margot Robbie is really quite good in the acting. And America Ferrara, I think her name is, she plays not a Barbie in the movie. She plays a real person. And she has this monologue that is absolutely phenomenal. And I've seen it used. I think somebody rewrote it for a female priest, things like that. But just, if you haven't seen the movie, look up the monologue and listen to it, because it is absolutely speaks truth to and for women in our day and age, and for many of them. But the movie was produced by women, has incredible acting in it, considering what they're doing. Um, the storyline is, it seems quite saccharine, but then at the same time, when you watch it, you realize how powerful it is in a really subtle kind of way. And so, like I said, a year or two ago, if I had seen that one of my favorite singers got a Barbie doll created after her, I'd think, oh yeah, like great. But now I'm thinking, yeah, that's awesome, because the whole image of Barbie, the whole image of what Barbie was when I was growing up, has changed so much. Maybe it's come back to what it was intended to be. In the storyline, it talks about the Barbie doll, what it was originally created to be, and the many iterations of Barbie, Dr. Barbie, astronaut Barbie, teacher Barbie, sports Barbie, all those things. And I didn't know those existed. I just thought Barbie was this ridiculous little plastic doll with really big gazoombas and like feet that were, insane. And even when you put the tiny little plastic shoes on, she couldn't stand up straight without sort of spreading her, like standing like she was ready to sprint someplace to balance her out. I always thought that Barbie was, for me, felt like it was some kind of this is what you're supposed to look like. And I never looked like that. It wasn't realistic. And the thing is, it wasn't realistic. But then to think about what Barbie has meant to other people, the idea that there was even apparently a pregnant Barbie. It didn't go very far. But that Barbie was created so it could show young girls that the world could be theirs. They could be anything. And that's powerful. So to see a Shania Twain Barbie, if indeed that's what I saw, was like, wow, here's somebody who came from a rough upbringing, and she had a relatively tragic childhood and young adulthood. She worked hard. There's some controversy around her and then her husband and the way their marriage ended, and her new marriage and her family and things like that. But realistically speaking, how many of us don't have ups and downs in our lives? How many women actually have that perfect life that's pictured on Elle magazine or, Cosmopolitan, things like that? I don't even know women's magazines anymore. I don't read them. So please forgive me if I've named wrong ones or old ones. But the thing is that on the a day of an International Day of the Woman or Women's Day or whatever it's called, I'm kind of up to my eyeballs in consecration things and not paying much attention to the world around me. The fact that we have one is really important. And I get there are people who think, well, why do we have to have one of those days? Why do we have to have a Women's History Month? Why do we have to have? The reason is because I think all months are Men's History Months, and every day is International Man's Day, because, or it's getting better, but realistically speaking, when I was growing up and even as an adult, it is still the question I get are things like, oh, you can be a priest as a woman, or even more so now, there's female bishops. Until we get to the point in our world where you can be a female doctor or a male nurse and nobody bothers to put your gender in front of that or behind that occupation. When you can be a priest or a bishop or a sales clerk or a governess or an au pair or a CEO of a major corporation without people worrying about what your gender is, until that time, women are still going to have to put themselves out there and say, look at me, what can do? We have come so very far. We have women astronauts. We have women who are inventing things and scientists who are creating, they're helping in the evolution or the creation of cures for diseases and all of these things. And that's absolutely fantastic. But until we come to that day when nobody even thinks to say, oh, you're a woman, fill in the blank, then we're not there yet. We do have to do this, have this day where we celebrate women, and it should feel good. And what I love about this day is that, contrary to 10, 15, 20 years ago, I know that I have a better chance of going down to the mall or going out for dinner or something and seeing a dad with his daughter, encouraging her and telling her, yeah, this is the International Day of the Woman, and it's your day, sweetheart. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be whatever God has called you to be. And when we get to that point in life where the men in our lives are able to say that freely to the daughters in our lives, and the women in our lives are able to say that freely to the sons in their lives equally, then we will be ready to let go of the International Day of, or the the month of such and such a history. It's not just about women or equality. It's about equity. It's about racism. It's about all of these things that cause us to have these need for, Black History Month or Women's History Month or things like that. Until we get to that place where we can just acknowledge we're all good, we're all equal. The equal doesn't mean the same, but we're all important. We're all as important and all as necessary. Then we'll be able to let go of these things. But in the meantime, let's not jump all over them and get mad about them. Let's celebrate them. And as a matter of fact, pick up some more celebrations. If you're feeling like, well, there's this International Day for the Woman, and that's not about me, or I'm a woman, but I don't feel like it's my celebration day, then make one. Take yourself out for dinner. Get together with the girls. Go have a manicure. Go read a book. Buy yourself a great bottle of wine and a box of chocolates and curl up with your good book and have a sip of your wine and eat your chocolates. Take yourself out to the show. It doesn't matter. Celebrate you today, however that feels right to you. And who knows? Maybe there's somebody else out there who would like to celebrate you as you celebrate them, as you celebrate together. But whatever you do, honor the woman in you. Honor the woman and the woman beside you. Or if you're a gentleman watching this video, honor the women in your life. It doesn't mean that you're putting yourself down or saying that they're better. It simply means you recognize how awesome they are. And guess what? You are awesome. You really are. Have a great day. God bless you. And I will see you again on Sunday for Gospel on the Go, which will probably be filmed at my house. Eventually, I'll get started filming them at the cathedral or at one of the churches I go to. But Gospel on the Go will pop up on Sunday morning, and Church at Home with Rachel will be back on Monday as well. Please pray for a smooth move tomorrow. This is just getting kind of ridiculous. God bless everybody. I'll see you later.